Test 1 2 3. Welcome to the International Racing Series GT4 Championship, featuring GT Sports Group 4 cars with the mid-engine rear-wheel drive or front-engine rear-wheel drive layout. None of the front-engine front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive cars are permitted in this series. Our starting grid is going to be our 1600 Turbo in pole position, SDM Viper in second position. Third, we have SDM RRDZ in the Viper in third. We've got Jeeves ACBC running fourth position. Fast One running in the, looks like we had a little contact already, running in the Lexus. Nico 4711 in the Mustang. Gentleman Racing in the Honda NSX. Eighth, we've got Nail, also in the Lexus. Ninth, we've got Base Edition in the Ferrari. And Allen in 10th, also in the Ferrari. Yeah, again, so we're going to be running a approximately 45 to 50 minute race here. Tire wear set to 3x. Fuel depletion is set to 3x, and all cars start with 65 liters of fuel on board, guaranteeing the need for a pit stop for tires and fuel. Tire wear is a factor. The available tires are the racing softs and the racing mediums. There's no driver categories within the series per se, just simply not enough drivers to divide them up into a pro or pro-am category situation. So it's an all-out race for position. The series has a little bit of a twist, as the top three finishers in every event will accrue ballast. First place gets a 3 percentage point bump in their vehicle weight with no adjustment to power ever. Second place gets a 2%. Third place gets 1%. But the maximum ballast any of the participants can accrue is 5 percentage points. After that, if a driver with ballast finishes outside the top 5, they get 1% removed each time that happens to them. The idea is that this will bring the field closer together. We're about to approach the starting line here to go green. The pole sitter chooses the moment to go ahead and accelerate. And they're green, and they're off. 1600 Turbo holds on to first position. Looks like we not too much drama in turn one. Oh, Turbo into a slide. Yeah. Viper on him. Looks like we've got a break by the first 4 cars. Oh, Viper going inside, a clean, brilliant move to get by Turbo. Let's put some telemetry up to see what our drivers are doing here. Sadly, this is a relive broadcast of the event, or broadcasting the replay, as you can see flashing on the bottom of the screen. So some of the telemetry won't be available. Needless to say, we've got a little 4-car pack here, breaking away from the rest of the group on lap 1. Viper in the lead, Turbo second, staying close. RRDZ staying close as well, and it looks like Jeeves may be just hanging back, hoping to capitalize on any mishaps by the lead pack of 3 cars. Turbo's looking vulnerable, down to third. The two Vipers are just exerting their dominance here. Now we'll see how things develop. See if this is part of a strategy by Turbo to just keep things cool. He's staying close to second place. And again, G's just feeling comfortable hanging back. You know, we'll see different approaches by drivers throughout the series races. This is race 1. Happened a number of weeks ago now, about a month ago. We're currently in week 5, just wrapped up, moving to week 6. But nevertheless, we're playing a little catch-up. Gentlemen Sim Racing is a one-man operation at this point, so you have to resort to relive broadcasts when the opportunity presents itself. Let's go on board with 4th place. Yeah, G's is looking to be very conservative with his approach here in the opening laps. However, you can see it's 4-car pack on lap 3 of 34 laps. It's just so the 34 lap number is a little deceptive because lap 1 is a formation lap and will be in every race. So trying to get a little hint of realism in the series, but you can see the Vipers now going at it. Turbo just hanging back, making sure he doesn't get caught up in any potential drama that might occur. Let's get a look at, see if there's a pack forming. Looks like you got Nico in 5th, Gentleman Racing 6th, Nail 7th, and Fast One in 8th. Looks like Fast One might have suffered some drama early on. Yeah, it appears he did. He's dropped quite a few positions. He's behind Nail at this point, which was our 9th or 10th position qualifier. So Fast One's going to be looking to make up some positions, trying to make his way back up the order. Let's get back to the leaders. Looks like Viper's broken a little bit of a gap between himself and RRDZ. So he's probably got a good second or so to the following pack of 3 cars. Let's see how things develop among those cars. And look at Jeeves just running clean lines, staying out of trouble. Whoa, makes a move, little argy-bargy there. Makes a move on Turbo to the inside. Now, there are, you know, rules to discourage any type of overly aggressive behavior, but that seems like a racing incident. Light tap, no one off. Damage is set to light, so if any damage is incurred by the participants, they'll most likely, you know, GT Sport's quite unique in that the damage will repair itself, and it seems Turbo didn't suffer any injury on that little tap there. Viper taking full advantage, seems to have stretched out the gap a little more. Oh, Jeeves going on the inside of RRDZ. RRDZ in the grass, Whoa, rejoins without making contact. That was a close one. Must have, I'll tell you, Turbo didn't bat an eye at that at all. Just kept it on track, kept going. There we have Nico being pursued by Gentleman Racing. Let's go on board with Gentleman Racing. See, oh, a little lock up on the rears on Nico there. Oh, and Jeeves is off. Oh, Jeeves. Must have caught a wheel off into the sand. moving Gentleman Racing and Nico up the order. Smoke from the tire smoke from the Mustang there. Oh, and Gentleman Racing gets a nice launch out of the corner. Is he looking to make a move? Oh, another love tap. Thankfully, Nico doesn't go off. Gentleman Racing does the right thing, doesn't seize the opportunity to make a pass after the contact. Hangs back. Nico with a slowdown penalty, which might have been caused by the contact, unfortunately. So, yeah, he'll speaking of penalties, the track limits penalties are set to week. So, just during the normal course of racing, most penalties will just get burned off when a driver loses time or maybe outbreaks themselves. So we'll have to see if these penalties ever really truly impact the outcome of a race. Maybe if two cars are battling right on the final lap coming up to the start finish. RDZ in third, little gap to Turbo, and Viper seems to be really gapping the field. Using that Viper's power and torque to full effect here. And just what a sound from the BMW. Wailing, trying to catch that Viper. Yeah, if you've enjoyed the content at the end of the stream, I mean, at the end of the video, and you stay with us, you may want to consider. It's kind of bold of me to say subscribe, and this is our first video, but at least let us know what you think in the comments about quality of the production and the commentary. Again, it's a one-man show, so I'm doing the best I can. Really no experience broadcasting, but nevertheless, we'll do what we can to keep you entertained. Looks like the top three have spread out. Nico still nursing the slowdown penalty. Oh, Gentleman Racing. It's a right side rear tire on the sand and goes for a ride. That promotes Nail up to 6th. Jeeves, and it looks like Jeeves is up to 5th. Really unfortunate for those drivers, the two NSX drivers and the Lexus driver in fast one. You can see he's had some more troubles. Still languishing down in 9th. We know he's got better pace than that, so let's see what he can do to make up positions. Let's take a run through the order. First we've got Viper. Second we've got R1600 Turbo. Third we've got SDM RDZ. Nico holding down 4th, still nursing the penalty. Jeeves drawing in, looking to make a comeback of sorts. Nail quietly getting his way up to 6th place. Gentleman Racing 7th. Base. Oh, listen to the Ferrari screaming. Oh, gets a wheel in the dirt. It's a little squirrely there. Nevertheless, Base holding down 8th. Apologies there. And 9th position. We've got Fast One. And Allen, 10th. Doesn't look like there's any battles right now. Let's go back and see. Oh, my mistake. Jeeves making up for lost time here. Will he go for the outside move into the right-hander? Oh. Nico doesn't really fight him, figuring he's got no qualms with Jeeves at this point. Possibly looking to burn off the penalty time. Still at 3/10, so maybe he had another little small infraction. I think I've covered all the elements of the event in terms of settings and how the race is set up. If you're interested in possibly participating, as you can see, we've got some slots. Sometimes with attendance tapers off a little bit, we have fewer drivers than we do today. But it's promoted on GT Planet. GT Planet is the premier Gran Turismo and other sim racing forums website, gtplanet.com. You'll find information on this series in the Gran Turismo Sport section, in their weekly league racing section. Just post up, sign up, possibly if you're not already a member. It's free. There is a premium membership that you can opt in for, but it's not necessarily required. And make yourself known and get involved. It's always great to have more racers in the community. So check it out. At least take a peek. Can't hurt, right? Base going off. Struggling. Fast one gets by. See if Gentleman Racing made up some time. He's catching Nail in the Lexus. Nail running in the 33s, and Gentleman Racing bang out with 31.2 on his last lap. So he's looking to possibly get back up to 6th position, and however much higher he can get. This league series, championship series, is sponsored by an organization within GT Planet, an organization of racers who sponsor organized events to give folks an alternative to the online sport mode. The organization is called the International Racing Series. A little bit of a misnomer there. It's not one series. It's several different events that they hosted by different members. This one here is hosted by Gentleman Racing, who is right now just all over the back, giving looks left and right to Nail. Dipping inside. Nail seems to relinquish the position, not wanting to hold up the driver of Gentleman Racing. Nico looking like he's burned off the penalty time, even though it says 0.0. A little odd. I think perhaps when he crosses start finish he'll clear that off. Still showing, nevertheless. Let's move, let's check on the leader. Oh, looks like Turbo's made up some time. Now that the field's spread out, he's looking to running his best first sector. So Turbo running in the 29s. Viper has dipped into the 29s a couple times, it looks like, but running 130s. Yeah, the last 3 laps for Turbo have been in the 29s, so slowly but surely reeling in Viper. Little lag there from Viper. down to almost 3/10 on his best. Yeah, about a half a second quicker lap for turbos. Looking to really reel Viper in and just slowly eke away. Check on third. Oh, G's has made up a ton of time. All the while, RRDZ is nursing a 4/10 track limit penalty. Interesting to see an NSX hassling a Viper. Obviously, these guys are similarly skilled. And perhaps that little penalty has gotten into the head of RRDZ. But Jeeves back up to 4th after the incident. He's just really steadily made his way up through the field to be back in a podium position. Back to the leaders. Turbo holding that gap steady. Maybe managing fuel and tires. It's difficult to tell with the limited telemetry from the game. It looks like he's pushing, but running 130 on that lap. Losing a little, ever so slight amount of time. Case I neglected. Well, I know I neglected to cover it in case, you know, to the not familiar viewer, we're at Brands Hatch. Great track in England. Really an iconic track in motor racing. Having hosted Formula One many years ago. Now more of a touring car, GT car course. Certainly a lot of club racing goes on, I would imagine. Formula 3 stuff. A lot of weekend warrior stuff. Track days, but still really an old-fashioned, fantastic track with great elevation changes, blind corners, high-speed stuff. Really fantastic track. Let's see if there's any other battles down the field. G seems to be on his own, with DZ still in his mirrors. Nico running in the 32s with Gentleman Racing. Yeah, consistently about a second a lap faster. But sooner or later we're going to see Gentleman Racing reel in. Just be a matter of whether he does it before or after the pit stops. Again, they start the race on 65% fuel, so they're gonna have to come in at least once. And the question is then, you know, if you ran the softs, do you change tires or try to nurse a set of mediums the whole race through? Quite frankly, I don't think the mediums would survive an entire race. They'd just be completely trashed by the end of the race. Back to the leaders. Viper holding the gap steady. May have shrunken a little bit, but not much. Let's take a little bit of an onboard. GT Sport undoubtedly the most visually stunning game, sim racing game available right now on console, at least. Obviously, there are some PC sims. If you have a beefy enough PC, you get some beautiful visuals, but on console, really unsurpassed in terms of. Some people don't like some of the presentation, but overall, it's just a very, very wonderful looking game. If you're a graphics interested gamer, certainly a PS4 Pro is the way to go. So it's difficult to tell. It's looking like Turbo may be playing a tactical game here of sitting back, although you know, kind of a risky maneuver really, because a lot of the decisions made by drivers, at least in the real world, is tempered with knowledge about the other driver and what they're capable of. It looks like we got a Jeeves coming in on lap 16, which is pretty close to the halfway point. Nico looks like he's going to get by. RDZ's gotten by. And Jeeves is going to come out in 5th, just ahead of the other NSX in Gentleman Racing. Again, this is my, hopefully my audio's working good. We'll find out once the video's done. If not, I'm gonna have to take another crack at it, but if not, we'll be good to go and be able to publish this bad boy today. So Jeeves looking to make up time. Again, we have to remember he's the first car stopped. Let's see if Viper brings his in this time. Viper stays out. Turbo stays out. Those guys have a huge lead. It's looking like the battle for the win is going to be, barring any unforeseen collision. Oh, RDZ taking a ride through the grass there. Doing some landscaping. Nevertheless, no harm done. No positions lost. And also stays out. His tires are going to be a little... oof. His tires are going to be a little questionable for a few corners at least. Yeah. Oof. Nico stopping in. Does Gentleman Racing come in? Oh, he's a ways back. Oh, no, Gentleman Racing does get by Nico up to 5th. He's still yet to stop though, so we'll have to see on his stop what happens. Jeeves, we know, has already stopped. Let's see what the leaders do. Let's stay with the leaders. Does Viper bring it in? Nope, stays out. Turbo stays out as well. Looks like G's may be reeling RDZ in. Tough to tell at this point. The gap is large enough, and without the proper telemetry, difficult to tell. But Jeeves is definitely gapping Gentleman Racing. Fast one has another. Oh, fast one with another off. Fast one struggling today. This may quote me on this, but maybe his 3rd incident. Front end looking a little gnarly, but well clear of nail. At least well enough clear. He was well enough clear of nail to have it not be an issue, so held on to 6th despite the off-track excursion there. Turbo, looking like he's anticipating a stop. It's stop into the pits by Viper, perhaps expecting to. Yep, and there we have it. Viper and Turbo both come in. In the game, taking mediums. So really not wanting to take a risk. Beautiful livery. Let's say all the cars are looking really good. And Viper with a substantial gap out of the pits on Turbo. Interesting. Oh, somebody have an off? Oh no, Alan making way for Turbo. Oof, and a substantial gap of several seconds to Viper. So it looks like Turbo's has it all to do. It's got 14 laps to reel Viper in and get by. And as we all know, it's one thing to catch a driver. It's an entire different matter to get by them. We've got a petition sheet, Polyphony Digital, to give us the full telemetry on replays. Check the field now. Jeeves, who stopped. Gentleman Racing. Fast one. Oh, with another off. Oh, and loses a position that time to RRDZ. Who we're not sure if he stopped or not. He's got a good, healthy gap to RRDZ. We'll have to see if he'll get reeled in. Fast one in the pits. His first stop, we believe. Nail gets by. Base gets by. They look to be battling. Allen in 10th, trying to leave room for the 6th and 7th to get by and just carry on with their battle. Let's go back up to the leaders. Still a gap of a few seconds. A little bit of drifting or floating on the behalf of Viper. Just a little lag. It happens. One of the scourges of online racing. Lag. Gentleman Racing, I don't think he really poses a threat to Jeeves in 3rd, so Turbo pumping out, nearly getting into the 128s. Gap appears to have gotten smaller. The touch. Let's compare the times. Lap 21, a 29 flat from Turbo, and a 30.5 from Viper. So it seems that this may be lining up to be quite an interesting race in the closing laps. You can see the gap has gotten shorter, smaller rather. Turbo putting that BMW, wringing its neck really to try to make up the gap. He's got 12 laps. Don't know why lap 23 didn't register a time. Let's see what happened with the timing on Viper. Odd situation. Really need the developer to clear up this telemetry on replays. Hate to keep harping on the subject, but it definitely would be helpful to content creators. Nail pitting, taking out some softs. It looks like our RRDZ. Yes, it was a little deceptive there, but Gentleman Racing pitting. Taking on softs. Oh, quite the off track for a base. Gentleman looking to holds on to fifth position. Pitting on lap 24 the first time, so a quick 10 lap sprint for him on fresh rubber. Let's see what he can do. Let's get back to the leaders, see what's going on. Yes, and the gap has come down substantially. 10 laps to go. Again, a little lag from Viper. And Turbo just reeling Viper in the corners. Turbo running a wider line, looking to get on the throttle earlier. And then you can see just reel in the very patient from Turbo. Perhaps made weary by the lag. Oh, and there it is. Difficult to know what to expect from corner to corner when you got an opponent lagging like that, but it doesn't seem to be too bad. Doesn't seem to be a situation where you have to be overly concerned about potential collision as a result of lag. So, and here, sector 1 on the track where Turbo seems to have the better of, or the measure of, Viper in terms of pace. See if he chooses to take a late apex. Nope, tight, keeps it tight. Tucking into the slipstream. Back and forth from Viper. Oof. Personal best, possibly overall best lap. First sector. Most likely the overall best first sector. Quite the battle. Quite the battle. You know, these Group 4 cars can be a little bit maligned. This segment of cars can be maligned, but when matched up nicely, it certainly make for some interesting races. Another element to take into consideration in this series is that this is being the first event. It was running the GT Sport balance of performance figures. The following, as we mentioned earlier, the following races, depending on people's finishing order, will employ the ballast system to try to keep the races interesting without completely debilitating drivers' ability to be competitive. So first place will be rewarded with a 3% weight increase. Second will be rewarded with a 2% weight increase. Third place will be rewarded with a 1% weight increase. And that stays throughout the rest of the series. It doesn't go away after the next race. But if a driver gets to the point where they finish outside the top 5, they have a percentage point taken away, therefore reducing the weight back by, and 1% in this game is about 32 kilos of weight, which doesn't seem like much, but can have actually have an impact on tire wear and top speed and just the overall manageability of the car. It isn't, you know, really super highly obvious, but it does impact, which is impressive that Polyphony Digital was able to kind of incorporate that into an effect on the car's overall performance. Especially with the large variety of cars eligible to race in the series. I think there's a 13 in total. Looks like they're coming up on a lap car. Let's go on board with Viper. You can see in the monitor, Turbo just hanging there. We're down to 6 laps now. It's interesting that Turbo has really tried to make a move. Oh, Allen going off. Perhaps just wanting to get out of the way. The blue flags being waved by the trackside workers. And another nice little touch from Polyphony Digital. This series runs with flag rules on, as you can see. Quite the looks like RRDZ may have gotten, well, we don't want to break away from the leaders here, because it looks like Turbo may be looking to make his move here on lap 29 with 5 laps to go. How hard will Viper defend? Is he looking at it as something inevitable? Ooh, is that lag? Is it rear wheels breaking loose? Tough to tell. Let's go on board with Turbo. Viper taking the defensive line. Ooh, really disconcerting touch of lag there. Oh, and Viper slipstream strength set to real, so it's kind of the preferred setting for the series organizers. How real it actually is yet to be determined, but seems to have a somewhat of an effect that's not unmanageable. Oh, Turbo getting wide there on entry. Oh, that manages to keep it on the tarmac. Yet another lap car. So will traffic play a part here? Let's see. Let's go to the TV cams. Seems Turbo's preferring to stay conservative with his approach on his attack on Viper. Turbo gets a nice exit from the corner and slots into the slipstream. I'll tell you, as a driver, when involved in an event like this, I much prefer to be the following car, the chasing car, rather than the lead car. Just much easier to manage stress when faced with a situation like this. Well, Viper's managing it really well. Will he use the trap lap car as a pick? No. Nail does a nice job of not getting involved in this battle. And Turbo. When will it happen? Oh, Viper going defensive alongside. Oh, and Viper puts the right side wheel on the grass. Keeps it on track, but loses the position to Turbo. So his patience pays off. Let's see if he can open up the gap and seal the deal here in the last remaining laps. And you can see Viper just kicking himself, pushing hard to try to grasp onto the tail end of the slipstream here. Nevertheless, still a wonderful, magnificent performance by both drivers. Again, only one can win. So sometimes patience pays off, as I mentioned earlier. I personally prefer to be the trailing car and pick the moment that seems to best to make the overtake. And that's exactly what Turbo did to seal the deal. Let's take a quick look at the order. First place we've got Turbo. Second we have Viper. Third we have Jeeves. This seems to have consolidated that position. RRDZ in fourth. Fifth we've got Gentleman Racing, who recovered from his incident early in the race nicely. Just trying to hold it together at this point. Sixth we've got Fast One. Possible that he's reeling in Gentleman Racing. Seventh we've got Nico. Eighth we have Base. Ninth we have Nail. And Allen in 10th. Back to Fast One. We need to see if it's at all possible that he's reeling in Gentleman Racing. Looks like Gentleman Racing's got a healthy gap going into turn one, as Fast One's just coming out to the front straight. So a healthy gap. Does RRDZ present a threat to Jeeves? It doesn't appear to be the case. And how's Viper holding out? Well, you still see Turbo, but the gap seems to be slowly opening up. With Viper having run a 30 flat on his last lap. Oof. 1600 Turbo, just stamping his authority on first place with the best lap of one, dipping into the 128s, and on a fast lap right now. Looks like he's best first sector of the race, albeit not by much, but nevertheless on pace to hold on to the position nicely. This is a 10th in the second sector. Oddly enough, this track's broken up into 4 sectors, which seems a little odd. Most racing, you get 3 sectors on a track. Let's see if Turbo pumps out another fast lap. Nope. No. But really still an impressive lap, dipping into the 129s. And here we are. We'll stay with Turbo. Perhaps go on board. His final lap. With a healthy gap back to Viper. Looking to stay out of trouble, perhaps. Oh, looks like we have a little bit of a battle up ahead for a 7th. Can Nico hold off Base and hold on to 7th? Or will Base be able to grab the position in the closing seconds here? They're gonna have another lap to go at it. Let's stay with the leader as he closes up, finishes off the race. And there it is, Turbo. Really just clinical in his effort. Viper sealing second. A healthy gap back to Jeeves, who appears to be set to lock down third. Get himself a percentage point of ballast. Yeah. Fourth for RRDZ. 5th, Gentleman Racing. 6th will be Fast One. And let's find out what the outcome's gonna be here with Nico and Base going at it. Nico really working. Oh, and Base with a heck of a run out of that corner. Oh, was there contact there? Oh, and Nico with that's good. That could be the difference in the positions. The half-second penalty could be the difference. Not going to be able to burn that off before the finish, or burn it off without Base making a move to get by. And then it looks like it's going to be it. Oh. And there you have it. That was race 1 of the IRS GT4 Championship. Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brought to you by International Racing Series. Thanks for joining us. Again, if you like the content, give a like. Subscribe if you will. Again, it's a one-man operation. We'll see if we can get you some more footage of the series on the channel as soon as possible. Thanks for joining us.